This is the Pet Buzz. And here's the Dynamic Pet Duo.
Joining us on the Pet Buzz is famed bookmaker Johnny Avello. Johnny was the Wynn Las Vegas Sportsbook Director before leaving to join DraftKings as the head of its sportsbook. Hello, Johnny, and welcome to the Pet Buzz today.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. This is exciting.
Happy Derby! Happy
I
Derby.
raised my glass and my fascinator falls out. I don't know if that's going to be a problem for the rest of the show, but we'll make it work. Okay, go ahead, Dr. Fleck. You had a question for Johnny.
Okay, number one, what's the best way to increase my racing knowledge before betting on the Derby?
There's a lot of websites you can go to who supply information that's going on about the Derby, the horses that are running, how they're working out. And those places would be Daily Race, DRF it's called, dailyracingform.com, horseracingnation.com, and brisnet.com. All three of them give you sufficient information about the Derby.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, one of the things you always told me is to make a study of the contenders, see if they've raced on that track before at Churchill. You know, learn Johnny's biggest thing he told me was learn about the turf, learn about the grass. I thought he was crazy the first time.
You've given her too much information.
But unlike you with Johnny's info and education, I have won and you have picked losers. Okay, so Johnny, in preparation for the big race, should we be looking, we're a little bit more sophisticated than the average starter better. Should I be looking at like replays and, like you said, learn about some of these experts, like you? Should I check out these expert opinions?
I think replays are good to look at. You can punch in, go to YouTube and ask for a certain race. Say, I want to see the Wood Memorial, the 2021 Wood Memorial, and you can watch the horses run and get an idea of their running style. Do they come from behind? Are they front runners? So that's also good. But you got to be careful that things don't take you away from what you want your selection to be. So don't let things alter what your opinion may be from your gut feeling, so to speak.
In other words, too much information could be a bad thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Especially giving it to the wrong person.
Don't look at me. I pick winners. Go ahead.
Okay, we know we see odds all the time. What do odds mean in horse racing, and how they determined at Churchill Downs?
The way they're determined is that there's a morning line, and that's made by the track odds maker. And he puts up a morning line just to kind of gauge on what he feels the horse's odds should be. And then that gives the bettor an idea of, where that horse ranks among the others. But the real odds are going to be bet through the parimutuel system. And what that means is as the money enters one big pool, odds will change based on how much money certain horses are getting. And so what you'll receive are the odds when the horses leave the gate. That's the odds that you're going to receive. So regardless of what they are 2 days before, when that gate opens up and those odds are posted on the tote board, that's the odds you're going to receive.
Okay. So, here's the thing, because things always change day to day, at least a week to 10 days before the Derby. I mean, Bob Baffert, one of his horses is out now. That happened yesterday. He's saving that chutzpah, that bravado for the Preakness. So when's the best time to bet on this race? Like 5 minutes before, after the post positions? What should we think about?
Well, that depends on where you are and where you're going to bet it. If you're in a bricks and mortar location, sometimes it gets awful crowded and the lines are long. And so therefore, if you wait too long, there's a possibility you could get shut out. But my experience in bricks and mortar locations are that people try to find their seat before the race goes off. So sometimes just before the race goes off, about a minute or two, that's when there are no lines. The people have made their bets and they're already in their area where they're going to watch the race. The way most people are going to bet this race is they're going to bet it through an online provider. Unfortunately, at DraftKings, we do not have that yet.
Yeah.
platform at horses yet, but it's coming. So there are many out there you can choose from. And so there's a variety of ways if you want to bet it. There's a variety of ways to do that.
That's good to know because COVID still has affected Churchill Downs. So we know less people will be at Churchill Downs this year, maybe, at the local racetrack here near us, but betting online. So it's a good time now to figure out where you want to bet online, don't you think?
Yeah, but if you're going to be betting online, does it get crowded towards that last 10 minutes and can you be shut out there too?
No, you can't.
Okay.
No, they have tremendous amount of bandwidth, so they can withstand any amount of bets that are coming through.
Okay,
Fingers crossed. Now that I say that,
okay, now I'm a novice. Okay, what are the best bets to place on the race for new players, a novice, players looking to explore, and adventure seekers?
well, an easy way to bet is to bet a horse to win, place, or show. That's to come in first, second, or third. So obviously, that's a very easy way to make a bet and watch the race. But adventure seekers, you said, I think you go a little bit deeper and try to pick the horses that'll come in first, second, and third. And that's when these pools have a lot of money in them, and that's when you can really put some bigger numbers together, payoffs. So I think for the adventure seekers, you try to bet trifectas. Exactas, which you have to pick first and second, and trifectas where you have to pick exactly first, second, and third.
Okay, is there like a mixed bag? What's the mixed bag? Like I could just pick 5 horses or 3 horses. Is there a mixed bag?
Yes. If you feel like you may have a horse that is going to be the winner, maybe you put that horse on top and then you sprinkle the other horses in the second and the third positions. If you're unclear that you don't have really a winning horse, that you just like them all equally, then what you do is you call it a box, and you box those horses, and regardless of what order they come in, as long as they come in first, second, and third, you'll win your bet.
Okay, that might be for me, the box. What I find about the Derby, it's kind of like the weather. You never know what's going to happen. So it's always a good idea to bet on a long shot. So what do you think, Johnny? Any more advice, any hints? Who looks good to you?
Well, Charlotte, you brought up an interesting word there, weather. And, Churchill Downs is in a part of the country where, it rains quite frequently down there. So we don't know what the weather is going to be that day. And if it is inclement weather, that just throws an absolute wrench into the race. And, we've seen a lot of strange things happen on those type of days. Of course, your favorites are in the race are Essential Quality. Will probably go off somewhere around 3-1 or 2.5-1, and then there's Known Agenda. Will probably go off 4 or 5-1. But we got to live dangerously, right? I mean, anybody can pick those. So maybe you should go down a little bit and look at horses like Bourbonic and Dynamic One, and there's a horse in there about whiskey bourbon. So maybe, if you like bourbon, put it together some Bourbonic and some whiskey bourbon and, that type of stuff. And who knows, maybe that's how you connect the dots.
You never know. I mean, we've seen crazy things. Remember Mina Bird?
Right. Winning can taste good too.
Yeah, winning can really taste good, but we don't have to worry about you because you never pick the winners.
Oh, that's real cute.
It's true. It's true, though. Come on, your records.
As a veterinarian, I can monitor horses and see how healthy they look. And everybody asks for my advice, Johnny, my advice, and they don't take it because they know
you pick losers.
that I will not pick the right horse.
Okay, Johnny.
Hey, Doc, this could be the year. That's all I can say. This could be the one.
You know what? This is what I'm going to do, Johnny. I promise you this. I'm going to text you from our party, our Kentucky Derby party, since we haven't been able to go these last 2 years.
Nope.
So I'll text you that he's picked another loser, quote unquote. I'll do it at 6:50.
She's so mean.
I am mean.
She's so mean.
But Johnny's known me a long time, not longer than you. So okay. So Johnny, what's your favorite thing about the Kentucky Derby?
It's when I worked in the location where the people cut the bricks and mortar location, I loved seeing all the people that came in and how excited they were for this race. And what we used to do is we used to hand out roses to all the females and just really make this something special for them. So I will miss that. But the race is the biggest race that our country has to offer. And, they call it the 2 most exciting minutes in sports. Now, I don't know if that's true, but it is exciting 2 minutes for horse racing fans. And, everybody, when the race goes off, everybody cheers and everybody's rooting for their horse. And when the race is over, whether you won or lost, it was an exciting time. So I look forward to having the Derby again back on its normal time frame, whereas last year, it didn't race until September.
Right.
Yeah, it seems like I just had the party. Now I'm stuck again playing a menu. I will say it's not only the most exciting 2 minutes in sports, it's the most expensive, especially for the ladies who want to look good. Okay, who want to look good. Now, just for everybody who's watching now, this is old stuff. This is like remember this Fascinator? This was our first.
That was our first.
That was our first Derby. Okay, that I wore this particular Fascinator, and it's been upscale all the way thanks to my dear friend Christine Moore, who is the Kentucky Derby Milner to the stars. But on that note, go ahead.
Johnny, thank you so much for having our listeners get excited about the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, it's just such a treat having Johnny Avello here. He's not only the head of DraftKings Sportsbook, but he's one of the leading bookmakers in the country. He's been a dear friend. I first met Johnny years ago when he was making the odds for the dog show.
Just look at his personality. He's just out of it, man. He's great. Well, he's wonderful.
So as I always say here on the Pet Buzz, we bring the best people and the most current information to you, to animal lovers, old and young and big and small.
Clearly the best.
So it's going to be a great Derby. Johnny, thanks again. We love you.
Thanks.
Great seeing you guys, and you look wonderful.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Pet Buzz.